Welcome back, everyone. Over the last few days, there are a lot of students who have asked me why reading is important for CAT, GMAT as an exam. And then when I was telling them that why reading is important, then they asked me, can you give us the list of books which we should read? And can you also give us the order in which these books should be read? So I decided to do this video where we will talk about if you are starting your preparation, whether for CAT or for GMAT, which are the books you can read. Now, few things which we have to start with is make sure that you get into a habit of reading. Now, let's say you come from a technology background, you're an engineer. Engineers are really good with technology, reading articles which are around technology, but we struggle when it comes to sociology, philosophy, psychology, literature, history, these genres. While if you are a liberal arts graduate, let's say you have done a graduation in literature, then you struggle with technology, economics, sociology, philosophy. And this I'm telling you out of my experience of last 20 years training students for these exams. So what I feel is we need to have a structure around what we read, when we read, how much we read. I think that is something which we'll have to decide on. So the idea is that you read at least 100-150 pages every day and you enjoy what you read. So I would not tell you books which are really boring to start with. I would tell you some books which you will feel interesting. You will at least develop that interest. And over the period, you will find that you are reading different genres. Start with the books of Dan Brown, Sidney Sheldon. These are books which are around thrillers, mysteries, which will get you acquainted to reading. This will help you in developing that reading attitude. So don't start with the genres which you find really boring. Start with the books where you find your interest. So Dan Brown, Sidney Sheldon are the best ones when it comes to starting off the journey. John Grisham and Jeffrey Archer, when you will read their books, you will find them, they are quite consistent around what they write. It's also a certain level of standard in English in terms of that it will prepare you to read longer RCs, or it will help you in your VARC preparation. So once you have started reading and you've reached a certain point where you have read John Grisham, Jeffrey Archer, you have read Sidney Sheldon, you have read Dan Brown, now comes the time to move to genre-specific reading. So when it comes to genre-specific reading, read genres like sociology, philosophy, psychology. So you can start with Sophie's World from philosophy. You can start with Sapiens or Animal Farm for sociology. You can start with Thinking Fast and Slow for psychology. For finance, you can start with as simple as Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And then you can go to One Up on Wall Street, Charlie's Almanac. These are the books which you can kick off your genre-specific reading. Now, one thing which I've observed is when people shift from phase 1 to phase 2, where you were reading Sidney Sheldon, Dan Brown and others, and when you shift to a genre-specific reading, a lot of people find that it's getting boring, and that's why they drop out there. My suggestion to you would be, if you are reading any of the genre-specific novels, do read a secondary novel alongside. Now, you can read some of the novels like Alchemist. You can read something like A Midnight Children by Salman Rushdie. And you can also read some of the novels from Indian writers. So let's address The Elephant in the Room. You can read the books by Chetan Bhagat. Now, a lot of people say that his books are easily understandable and may not help you that much in reading comprehension. But I think it will give you that fun which you are missing out in the boring books, if you call it that way. And you will again remain with the reading habit. His books are largely, page turners. So quickly keep turning them, reading them, along with your genre-specific reading. Once you have read this much, then you can move to the third phase of reading. Third phase consists of writers who write really good English. And at the same time, there is a lot of humor in what they write. P.G. Wodehouse is one of those writers. You can also look at Douglas Adams. He also writes satires, humor, which will interest you into reading. So that should be a third phase. Now, what I've seen is, for some it's phase 1 and phase 2. Very rarely people are able to go from phase 1 to 2 to 3. Now, I'm not saying it's necessary that you do all 3 phases, but make sure that whatever you read, 1, you are able to comprehend, 2, you're sure that you read at least 110 to 150 pages every day. And the one last thing which I would also tell you to do while you're preparing for these exams, you can go to a website called Aeon Essays. On Aeon Essays, you find different kinds of genres. There are essays written around there. Start spending 45 minutes every day on those essays. So this is what we share with all our students, how they should go about reading. If you like this video, do like and share with your friends. And comment in the video which books are you reading next. One of the lucky winner every week gets a book from our side. So comment which book if you are reading, and out of the comments which we get, we do a lucky draw and send out books to the people who won. If you are one of the aspirant, please do follow the channel. We keep putting out videos for the aspirants who are preparing for CAT, GMAT, GRE and other B school exams.